Fullerton scores winner. Cape Breton Eagles stay alive with victory in second longest playoff game in QMJHL history. After 6 hours and 22 minutes, 8 periods including 5 overtimes, and 3 disallowed goals overall in extra frames, the Cape Breton Eagles will live to see another game. Angelo Fullerton was the hero, scoring at 1:42 of the 5th overtime period to lift the Eagles to a 3-2 victory over the Baie-Comeau Drakkar in Game 5 of their Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League opening round playoff series at Centre 200 in Sydney on Friday. Fullerton's second goal of the playoffs came at 1:22 a.m. local time on Saturday in the second longest playoff game in QMJHL history, 141:42, forcing a Game 6 on Monday night in Baie-Comeau, Quebec. The Drakkar still leads the best-of-7 series 3-2. Thomas Lavoie would find Fullerton behind a Drakkar defenseman for a pass, sending the 19-year-old in on a breakaway. He made no mistake, decking Lucas Beckman and finding the back of the net for the game winner. "I stayed behind their players and got a great pass from Thomas Lavoie," described an exhausted Fullerton of the goal after the game. "I just blacked out a little bit and went down and made a move and it went in." Xavier Daigle and Lucas Romeo also netted goals for the Eagles. Matyas Malowski and Raoul Boilard recorded goals for the Drakkar. Cape Breton's Jakub Malata made 84 saves. Baie-Comeau's Beckman stopped 54 of 57 shots. Eagles head coach Louis Robitaille said he was extremely proud of his team. "These guys have character," he said. "They're proud to wear the logo. We want to win for the organization, they want to win for their teammates, and they want to win for the island." The guys had no quit. Cape Breton opened the scoring on the power play with Daigle firing home his first goal of the playoffs at 15:08 of the first period. Shortly after, the officials would review a high stick for a major penalty on Baie-Comeau's Sean Pearson, but the call would ultimately be a double minor. On the ensuing power play, Cape Breton's Joseph Henberry would be given a checking to the head penalty, which would result in a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. Baie-Comeau would tie the game shortly after with Malowski notching his second goal of the playoffs at 19:19 of the opening frame. The Drakkar took the lead midway through the second period with Boilard scoring his second goal of the playoffs at the 11:05 mark. Cape Breton tied the game just past the 5-minute mark of the third period when Romeo's shot through a screen fooled Beckman for his second goal of the playoffs, a goal which would ultimately send the contest to overtime. After the first overtime frame solved nothing, Baie-Comeau thought they had won the game in double overtime. However, after video review the goal was overturned due to accidental contact with Malata. A visible Robitaille was fired up on the Eagles bench as he spoke to his players following the disallowed goal. He was asked about that moment following the game. "They made some gesture at us when they thought they beat us, so that gave us maybe a little more motivation," said Robitaille, who didn't get into detail about what the gesture was to his team. "We don't forget. We're proud. Don't give us a second chance." At the end of the day, we had guys crying and I just told them to remember that feeling. The drama continued in triple overtime when Cape Breton believed they had scored to win the game. However, again the play would go to video review, but again the goal would be overturned due to accidental contact, this time with Beckman. Just when you thought you had seen it all, Baie-Comeau again would score in the fourth overtime period, but the play would be reviewed again and overturned after it was determined the puck had left the playing surface on a play prior to the goal. Cape Breton eventually won the game in the fifth overtime period. Robitaille said the players managed their emotion themselves because they wanted to win. "We made a few adjustments, but in the end, when you go to the second, third, and fourth overtime, it's about will and it's not about XS and OS, it's your compete level, your execution, and your smarts," he said. "You can easily try to cheat to be a hero, or you play the right way, and you wait until they break and that's how you win championships." The guys on the bench coached themselves. Several Eagles records were also broken during the game, including the longest playoff game in franchise history. Meanwhile, Malata set an Eagles record for most saves in a playoff game, beating Olivier Roy's record of 65 saves on April 3, 2009, in Quebec City. The Czechia native also holds the second most saves in QMJHL playoff history, only behind Victoriaville's Pierre-Luc Therrien, who stopped 86 on March 19, 1999. Cape Breton also set a franchise record for the most shots against, 86, in a playoff game. The previous record was set in 2009 when the Eagles allowed 67 shots to the Quebec Remparts in a 4-overtime period game. While Mulatto was pleased with his record-setting night, it wasn't the most important thing on his mind. "It feels good, but it's not that important as much as winning this game because it was a win or go home," said Mulatto, a Nashville Predators prospect. "The most important thing is winning, and that's what I'm focused on now." Baie-Comeau outshot Cape Breton 86-57 while going 0-for-3 on the power play. The Eagles were 1-for-4 with the man advantage. Game 6 of the series is scheduled to take place on Monday at 8 p.m. Atlantic Time at Centre Sportif Alcoa in Baie-Comeau, Quebec. Game 7, if needed, is set for Tuesday at 8 p.m. in Baie-Comeau.